Rational acceptance of reality. You suffer because you insist that reality should have taken a different path. The mind keeps returning to what has already happened, trying to correct what cannot be undone, as if thinking harder could rewrite facts. You complain quietly, resist inwardly, imagine alternate versions of events where everything turned out differently. Meanwhile, reality remains unchanged, indifferent to the struggle. The exhaustion doesn't come from the event itself, but from the constant friction between what is and what you wish it were. Few people realize that this persistent refusal is one of the greatest sources of human fatigue. Reality does not wound out of cruelty, nor does it test you with intent. It simply unfolds. The mistake begins when you turn a fact into a personal offense, when you demand meaning, fairness, or immediate explanation from something that simply exists. At that point, you are no longer dealing with reality, but with a mental version of it that will never be satisfied. Rational acceptance is not passivity, nor emotional resignation. It is not pretending that everything is fine when it clearly isn't. It is the sober recognition of what no longer responds to your will. It is ending a futile war with the past and cutting off the waste of energy spent trying to control what has already imposed itself. The Stoic does not romanticize loss, does not spiritualize pain, and does not rush to call failure a lesson. He faces the bare fact as it is, without adjectives, without rebellion, without inner drama. When the mind accepts what is, something realigns within. The strength once spent on resistance returns as clarity. Attention shifts from lamenting to possible action, not over the world, but over yourself, your posture, your choices, your response, your character. Everything that is still alive and within your reach. What lies beyond that stops being an enemy and becomes merely the setting. Reality does not need to be fair to be accepted. It needs to be understood clearly. To accept is to stop bleeding internally over something that will not change. It is to carry the weight without adding unnecessary suffering. It is to abandon the fantasy of total control and assume the only sovereignty that truly exists. How you position yourself in the face of what happens. If this reflection resonated with you, quietly observe where you are still resisting the inevitable, not to judge yourself, but to notice. Sometimes the first act of strength is not reacting, but admitting inwardly, this is already the case, and from here, what is actually up to me?